Now at this point then I have tuned all 13 notes of the temperament octave, and I have arrived at what is known as the Marburg quasi-equal temperament. The word quasi means almost, and it is a historical temperament that some technicians use today. Curiously enough, if you play the major thirds, they will sound the same as equal temperament. However, if you play the fourths and fifths, some of them will sound good because they're pure, but others will sound quite bad because they are tempered exactly twice as much as equal temperament. And then the fourths, pure but tempered, tempered, pure, pure, tempered, tempered, and pure again. So now I can use the very same process to convert the Marburg temperament into a true equal temperament. We'll simply go back to these first three notes, that first lowest three notes that we tuned in the temperament sequence: F3, A3, and C sharp 4. From F3 I tuned A sharp 3 and C4 as a pure fourth and a pure fifth. So I need to correct A sharp 3, and I find the other fourth or fifth within the F3 to F4 octave that I can compare it to, and that happens to be, I can use a fifth here, but that's the same as the fourth below, so that won't help me. But I find D sharp 4 to which I can compare it. A pure fourth and a tempered fourth. So I sharpen A sharp 3. Until I have the very same tempered sound in both intervals, and now you can hear that it's a very slightly tempered sound. It's very nearly pure, but not quite. Okay, now I move on to C, that I tuned initially pure from F, and it sounds pure, and the other note that I could tune as a fourth or fifth would be G3. And you can hear that that fourth beats rather strongly. So I will want to flatten C4 until both the fourth and the fifth beat exactly the same. Now, again, both intervals are just barely tempered, the way that they should be in equal temperament. I move on to A3, from which I tuned a pure fourth up to D and a pure fifth up to E. The fourth is still pure, and from D you can tune a fifth down to G3, D4 to G3, and that fifth beats strongly. Pure fourth, tempered fifth. I sharpen D4 until both the fourth and the fifth beat exactly the same. Okay, and now from A, I tuned a pure fifth with E. And the other note that I could compare that to would be B3 as a fourth. It beats strongly. I want to flatten E4 until both the fourth and the fifth beat exactly the same. Okay, now moving on to C sharp, from which I tuned F sharp and G sharp as pure intervals. Okay, the other note that I can tune as a fourth or fifth from F sharp is B3. That beats strongly. The fifth is pure. So I want to sharpen F sharp 3. Until both the fourth and the fifth beat exactly the same. And finally to G sharp, that I tuned as a pure fourth, can be compared to D sharp above. The fifth beats, the fourth is pure. I'll flatten G sharp until both the fourth and the fifth beat exactly the same. And there, the temperament sequence is complete. Now I've arrived at an equal temperament without using any of the common interval tests, such as chromatic thirds, or thirds and sixths, or inside third, outside sixth, or minor thirds, sixths. I used none of those in the process, and yet the temperament is very nearly perfect.